G'day guys, Josh from Dodgy Dailies here, and boy has it been a hot minute since I've posted anything. Well, as you might have seen on our other socials, Max has bought a Nissan S13 with an Intech in it, and we took that out about 2 weeks ago, took it to Eastern Creek. We didn't get many laps in it because there's a couple of teething issues that we need to sort out, but that event tickled me in just the right spot. So this is what I've been up to over the last 2 weeks. Now, a few years ago, this was the OG car. About 5 years ago, if not, and much longer before that. Although we've only done Dodgy Dailies for about 5 years now. But took the motor and gearbox out of this thing and stuck it into the new shell about 3, maybe 4 years ago. And then didn't really do much with it from there on. But as you can see, this shell is looking very bare now. So very, very bare now. Still got a few things to pull off it, but it's more or less ready to be picked up. So I'll take the boot off, tail light out, other little bits and pieces here and there. So the whole reason for reshelling in the first place was because I twisted the chassis. Don't know if you're going to see it from underneath. No, not really. And I've got the boot full of shit, but yeah, full of shit. So, but anyway, I bent the frame, bent the car, and it no longer sat flat. When I sit 4 jack stands at the exact same level, I even went to the point of measuring to make sure before I started this project. I could have it on 4 jack stands, and there was about 6 inches of gap on one of the stands. So that tells me that this chassis is wrecked. It twisted. So I probably could have adjusted it out with ride height, but I decided to go a completely different route. As you can see, the entire wiring harness is gone. The entire interior is gone. That's all just rubbish from both of the cars. Obviously that handbrake's still got to come out. Don't know if I'm going to use it yet. I'm going to order a hydro next payday or next week, so I might do an inline hydro video if I get around to it. A lot of this has been done late at night, starting at, once the kids are in bed at like 9 o'clock and then going until like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to rip this subframe out as well, just so I can have it reinforced and ready to go in case the one that's in the car does decide to crack. On to the main reason I'm making this video, and that's an update as to where I'm at with the new shell. I know I posted little bits here and there while I was doing the other work, but it has been so long since I've posted anything about this car. I just figured I'd do a full rundown of what I've done in the last 2 weeks. Start with here. So when that was sitting on a shelf, my dog knocked it off a shelf and broke the light. I do plan on sitting these sort of over it and seeing how that looks. If not, I do have one other spare. But for now, I would pin. They're a bit tight still. They need slight adjusting, but engine bay is all tidied up. I couldn't get the wiper blade off the other car, so I've just decided to go for a single blade, and it does a decent amount. It goes right to the corner, stops about there. I don't care about that side. I don't really need to see out that side. So, but it clears enough of the screen for me. So I've got the radiator in. I've got a power steering cooler there because I kept cooking power steering pumps when I used to drive this car a lot. Still bits and pieces to tidy up. So, but yeah, so I got the intake on, engine on, everything's wired up, everything's there. So I've done a full chassis harness swap. I was going to make my own harness, but I sort of gave up on that idea because I had a complete good harness in that car. there's obviously things I still need to do. Put a clamp on there, make that better so it's not kinked. I'm just going to use one of these bent hoses here and another adapter to make that bend a bit nicer. Coilovers are set up for maximum caster, maximum camber at the moment. I'll obviously have to play around with that a bit when I get around to doing an alignment on it, but that's how I've got them set for now. So that's maximum camber, maximum caster for what I can get out of these. So if I rotate it to the left and have it pointing like this, I'll get a lot more camber out of it, because as you can see, there's not much. Obviously when the suspension settles, I might get a little bit more out of it, but as you can see, there's not much camber there at all. Obviously there's still a lot of little things to do. Today I got both the doors on, still got to bleed the brakes, but I'm not going to do that till after I do the hydro. I stripped out this subframe because I want to reinforce this subframe, same as I want to do with the other one. Keep them both as spares, reinforce them, maybe look at getting some different toe correction plates, maybe swap them out for some upper arms and do a true coilover rear end. I want to build this rear end, but for the meantime I've got, if I can get this vacuum out of the way, I've got a rear end in, drivetrain in, and I've got a welded diff in it. Got to put the exhaust on, but I do need to get a new muffler, because this one was very rattly. So there's something loose inside the box. So it sounded great when it was on full song, but at idle it sounded like shit. So I'll look at getting a new muffler if I have to. For the moment, I just want to get it running and driving. So new muffler down the lines. I've got the wide body here to go on. I've chopped it off the other car. And I've got the interior mostly together. So the airbags, non-existent. I have a project in mind for that. I was going to put a non-airbag dash in it, but the one I had was out of a sedan and I could not make it fit. I could have kept cutting it up until I made it fit, but then there wouldn't have been much dash left. So the plan with this one later on is to maybe take the dash back off and make a fiberglass copy of it. I do plan for the hydro to sit here if possible. I've seen it done, but whether or not the one that I'm ordering is going to work. I've got a Sparko seat in. Again, that's got to be changed. I've got to get some seat sliders for it, but for now, until I can get some seat sliders, I'm just going to put the factory seats in. I've got the fuel pump wired up to this one, I think, and the fan to this one. They both run straight off the ignition. Plus, so when the ignition's killed, they're killed. But then, if I need to kill it while it's hot, kill the fuel pump while it's hot, I can do that. And I can just let the fans run. So I've come a long way in the 2 weeks that I've been plotting around with it. And anybody who's done a chassis up restoration knows just how much work has actually gone into it in the last couple of weeks. Now, I have got another screwdriver handle at work. I'm gonna keep this one, and the other screwdriver handle will be for the hydro. So they got to push. There's something wrong with the door handles as well. I mean, it's been sitting for so long. Got to finish putting all these screws in for the door cards. That side's got all their screws in. But yeah, a lot of work has gone into this, and for some reason I have to absolutely slam this door or it will not open. Oh, wait, okay, something is misaligned, but that's okay. It's got just there, so I can fix that. I think I've just got to make an adjustment. Yeah, you can see it's rubbing It's rubbing there at the bottom. So make an adjustment to this, I think, because I can't really move the door, but I could also maybe make the adjustments to the actual door latch itself, or I just keep slamming it forever. But yeah, if you had seen what this car looked like 2 weeks ago, you wouldn't believe the amount, you wouldn't believe that I'd had this much work done to it. So I'm trying to decide what wheels to run. I'm probably going to run the Style 66s. These ones are chunky and look fucking sick, but I don't know if I'll end up using them. Who knows? I put this guard on because the other one, I don't know, the other one, something wasn't right with it. But that one's getting chopped. The other one's going to get chopped up now so I can make the over fenders for the front. I've got a guard in my garden shed back there, chopped up already to go onto this one. This other blue one bolted on nicely. So, but for now I have a lot. Still have a lot to do. But for now, if I wanted to, actually I had to have a look at, let's pull that back up. Actually, I needed to look at something. I need to look at my power wire for my fuel pump because for some reason it's not sending power now, even though it was the other day. Hang on, I've got to do it with the kids. Still deciding what boot I'm going to run because I've got a fresh boot with no holes in it, and then I've got the one with the ducktail. So I'm probably going to run the one with the ducktail if I can. I just don't know if the other one's twisted. That's why I picked up this one. But yeah, as you see, there is a lot to go. A lot of the fiddly stuff, or the time-consuming, mind-numbing stuff is done. Now it's just a matter of getting into it and tidying up the little things. Yeah. So that's the update for the cars. Now the weather has just taken a change, and I'm going to keep cracking on, ripping into this thing, trying to get it gone and try and get it ready to be picked up either tomorrow or next weekend. I've already contacted a scrap guy, and everyone knows that I work best when I'm under pressure. So if I have a time frame to get it done, I'll get it done. But as I've never given myself a time frame, it's never really attempted to work with it. So yeah, I've gotten a time frame now. So this thing's got to go. It's got to be done. Got to finish stripping it out. Like I can literally, at this point now, or I can literally just pick it up. Because these cars weigh literally next to nothing when you've got them stripped out. So I'll just lift it up, throw some wheels under the body, drop the subframe out, cut off a couple of fittings for the brake line so that I have some extra fittings when I'm doing the hydro. Don't have to go buy any then either. So like, why buy them when you've got them? And I'll probably go through this crap again just to make sure I have everything I need. Because if possible, I might put that on the road again. I'm really not sure. I do want to have it just as a track car only, but as you can see, there is a ute missing. So yeah, the ute I had to get rid of it. I was just dumping so much money into it, it was becoming unbearable to own. And the final straw for it was when the engine decided didn't want to be an engine anymore. It developed rod knock, and I just called it quits. But diff drop, lift kits, custom arms, everything on it was essentially a custom built ute, because there was no off the shelf parts. Everything had to be made. But for a ute that had stock internals, 250 plus thousand Ks, I say the plus because the speedo stopped working for about 6 months, and me and Max still took it here, there, and everywhere. So yeah, 250,000 plus Ks of over 30 pounds, the constant abuse, the constant skids, it copped so much abuse, and it gave me its everything. And yeah, I don't have the time anymore to be I didn't want to put the time in to put a motor in that thing, because the body was rough as guts from off-roading it quite often. The ute, the Fulcrum, it got treated like an absolute pig, and for the way it was treated, it lasted far longer than it ever should have. There's an update on what's been going on my end of things, considering I've been so quiet on the socials lately. But anyway, like, subscribe, share. We're on Insta, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're all over the place. Just type in our name and you'll find us. Catch ya, bye. Before I actually wrap this video up, one more life-changing update. Me and Stephanie finally got married after 9 years. So, yeah, and the kids, they're constantly each other's face. They're both walking, running, enjoying lives.